All right. Happy Friday, everybody. Good evening. We've made it through another week. Made it through another day. And here we all are. It's good to see you. How's it going, Freeman? What's up, Will Boy? Saturday for you. Time zones. Time is an illusion. What's up, Pablo? Hey, Funkadelic. What's up, Yami? It's okay, Nub. Your brain's funky and I messed my back up today. Owie, my hip. Did you sneeze? Did you cough? Did you pick up a lightweight object? That seems to be all it takes for, like, throwing out my back these days. Hope you recover quickly. Hey, Rachel. Love you. What's up, Tassadul? Hey, Nora. What's up, Repoison? Funkadelic, you once hurt your back putting on a sock. Yeah, I feel that. I definitely feel that. Apparently slept wrong somehow. That is usually the thing that gets me. A lot of times lately, sleep has not been very good for me. I tend to sleep fairly light, and for relatively short amounts of time. I'll usually sleep for like 2 or 3 hours in a very light sleep, and then wake up. I tend to toss and turn. I've been having nerve issues and pain and numbness on stuff on my left side. So, unfortunately, my left side is also like my more comfortable side for me to lay on. So a lot of times I'll fall asleep on my left, and then I'll wake up 2 hours later because my arm is killing me or my leg is killing me. Something will go numb and just feel weird. Also, I don't know if it's the anxiety or the medication, but I've had these weird, like, heart palpitations when I'm laying down. Like, I'll be okay when I'm standing, I'll be okay when I'm sitting, but when I'm laying, either on my side or on my back, I'll get these random spikes where my heart just starts going crazy. It'll go from, like, resting rate of 60, 70 BPM, and it'll shoot up to like 100, 110. And a lot of times that interrupts my sleep cycle. So sleep has been kind of shitty for me anyway. But before all of this, before all these panic attacks and anxiety and medications and shit, I used to sleep pretty deeply. The problem with that was, I don't know, I have a habit of like pushing my head and my neck up against like the back of the bed or the arm of the couch or wherever I'm sleeping, or even against my own arms. So I'll wake up with my neck all fucking crooked to the side. He looks like he crashed into them. Yeah, Rachel can tell you all about it. Seriously, it's like I was riding a bike and crashed into something and flew over the handlebars and hit it face first. Like my body just crumples at the neck and back. But I used to be, when I was actually sleeping a lot more soundly through the night, I would just stay like that for hours, so I'd wake up the next day and be like, why does my neck and my back hurt so fucking bad? Like, gee, I wonder. Now that my sleep's been sort of shitty, just kind of a few hours at a time and fairly light sleep, I haven't been doing that so much. Something good. But I also just haven't been getting very good sleep quality in general. Never really had issues. Even when I started having the panic attacks and stuff, I was doing pretty well with sleep for a while, where like once I lay down, my sleep schedule was terrible, but once I'd actually lay down to sleep and everything like that and get comfortable, once I was out, I was usually out. But once I started on the anxiety medications, the very first few days of starting all my medications, I was getting, I don't know what it was. Basically, whenever my eyes would close, I would start feeling dizzy and get this sort of wave of anxiety, my heart rate would start going up. Again, Rachel was there helping me struggle through that. But yeah, it was miserable. So now I get this weird shit whenever I try to sleep. Not good. Have you tried lazy boy chair sleeping? That pseudo you're laying down but not completely flat kind of sleep? We have these like reclining 0G chairs. It's not like a full-on lazy boy recliner thing. We can't really afford that kind of stuff. But I do have stuff like that, which it's comfortable to sit in. I'm sitting in it right now. I have it in my stream room now. Just to try to be a little bit more comfortable when I'm sitting for a long period of time for streams and for editing. But it's not very good for me to sleep in. I have a lot of trouble sleeping on my back. I'm much more comfortable laying on my side or even on my stomach compared to being on my back. What's up, Not Matt? Hey, Brodite. EK Blood Angel, welcome. First time chatter. Recently finally got a CPAP machine, even though not similar to your issues, but can acknowledge sleep problems. You know, dealing with all the anxiety and everything, the first time I went and saw my doctor and they did the blood tests, they drew my blood, they did blood pressure and some other stuff. My doctor suggested, she said she was gonna send home, like mail me a home sleep study kit, and I never got it. I don't know if it got lost in the mail, or it's just like super delayed, or she forgot, or what. But my doctor actually wanted me to do a sleep study to see if sleep apnea was affecting things, because poor sleep quality over a long period of time can create anxiety issues and exacerbate existing ones. So gotta try and get some good sleep. I haven't had really solid sleep in a long time. What is sleep? I also used to have pretty bad insomnia for many years. That was like back when I was streaming a lot more too. That's what made powering through the like 24-hour marathons and super in-depth story playthroughs back when I was doing like 15, 20, 25-hour streams much more regularly. I was powering through it just because like I had insomnia anyway. But you know, these days, on top of all the other health issues, I can't do that anymore. My body just shuts down. My brain just completely stops functioning. Remember having bad insomnia and watching those streams? Ironically, I mean, it's still a thing, but back then it was always funny to me because so many people were like, oh, I can fall asleep so easily to your voice and to your streams. And it's like, well, that's good that somebody's getting some sleep, because yeah, I was barely sleeping back then. I'd usually stream for like 15, 20 hours or something, Sometimes do the 24-hour marathons. And then I would sleep for like maybe 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours at most, and then be up again. A lot of times I'd get up and just immediately start streaming again. Ignored it for a long time and sleep got worse as you got older and gained more weight. Machine has been a lifesaver. Finally have less brain fog and more energy. That's good. That's good, Blood Angel. I'm glad. Glad to hear that. Hopefully I can get my sleep study done at some point. Although it's not even sure if sleep apnea is a part of my issues, but it's something that at least can be tested for, and we can kind of mark it off the list if it's not and deal with it if it is. My mom uses a CPAP machine as well, so it's helped her a lot. I know it's helped a lot of people. How's it going, Billy the Kid? Had insomnia all your life, runs in your family. It's a hard thing to deal with. I said sleep, something I neglected for a very long time in my youth. And these days, I said, yeah, you start getting older and everything, you really start to appreciate trying to get decent sleep. Just haven't had it in a while. I miss it. I miss sleeping. Sleeping for more than like 2 or 3 hours at a time. Let's see. Let's fire up some Silent Hill 2. Wish we didn't need sleep, just feels like wasted time to me. That's kind of how I used to feel about it when I was younger. But, man, it makes such a difference between, like, having good sleep quality, versus when it's awful. By the way, before the start of the stream, just to test it, because a few people had been, so when we do the cam hack, I've got problems with trying to control it. Very fine control is not really a thing. Like, even when you're holding down the button to slow down the camera movement, barely tapping it will make it just go flying in the direction that I'm trying to move the camera. So it can make kind of looking at certain things, especially when I need to like clip through one asset to see an asset behind it. Haven't had very good fine control over the camera. And people were saying, that's why you should use a controller. Use a controller. Everyone is saying plug in a controller. Not everyone, but a few people. So before the start of the stream, just to get this out of everyone's heads, I plugged in my controller and I tested it with the cam hack, and it made zero difference. It did not help at all. You barely touch the stick, like super, super lightly, and it goes flying. I understand everyone's mindset about why things like that might work, but the thing is, like, it's a mod. the the game the game natively supports analog control so that you can very, very lightly hold the stick and your movement is like very slow. But this is a mod. It's not part of the native game coding. It's made to go at a set speed once it receives an input. So, just so everyone knows, plugging in a controller to control the camera with more fine-tuned control, not a thing. Doesn't work, unfortunately. But I did actually test it. So, we're sticking with our keyboard and mouse controls. And yeah, it's day 14. 2 whole weeks worth of streams. And we're still in Brookhaven. Not even proper Otherworld Brookhaven yet. For like 2 to 3 hour average streams per part. For 2 weeks. Is this nurse really coming up the stairs to fuck up my shit as soon as I loaded my game? Down here making all that noise. It's this one. It's you. You're the noisy one. Hey, Sasam. Hope the horrors are treating you well. I mean, we just started. We'll see how it goes. By the way, congratulations on the Silent Hill Homecoming New Game Plus speedrun world record. Sasam, for those who don't know, very, very talented speedrunner, and has been grinding out Homecoming for a very long time. Also one of my favorite Silent Hill games to speedrun. Not one of my favorite Silent Hill games in general, but Homecoming as a speedrun is super, super cool. For anyone who's never seen a Homecoming speedrun, there's a lot of tech, there's a lot of clipping and sequence breaking, and it's not very intuitive on how it all works. It takes a lot to learn it and get it down efficiently. So it's a very satisfying run when you start getting good at it. I love speedruns like that, but it is a very difficult run to do efficiently. And Sasam got the world record for the New Game Plus category, so congrats, that is a huge achievement. Got a bowl and a spoon. A pretty normal looking bowl, but I have ones that look just like this, where they're kind of wide and kind of shallow. I really like them because they're oven safe. We don't have a microwave, so anytime we're like heating up leftovers or meals and stuff, we just throw it in a bowl, throw it in the oven. More detoxidine. Not a fan of that spoon? My spoon's too big. And low poly. It's kind of funny how many assets in this game are, like, super high-res and detailed. And then others are, like, PS2, PS3, very angular. Then you got the fluorescent light, and it's even got the wire and stuff behind it. Low-key, I hate big spoons. My wife, Rachel, she would join everybody on the fuck big spoons side of that argument. I'm a savage. I don't care. Give me a ladle. As long as it can get the food up to my mouth, I'll make something work. Doesn't bother me. No pictures. Just frames. Still got a lot to check out on this floor. Just drop the spoon and drink from the bowl. I do that a lot too. Those green crates just shattered. Little corner piece of it. Big zooms. I love how you've got the broken roof. All the tiles that have crumbled and fallen down here onto the floor. Dead nurse. Shouldn't have been making so much noise. Electrical hazard. Main switch. Observation notes. We'll read this, pick this up and read it in a moment, but I kind of like looking at it, the assets, and kind of comparing it to the on-screen text. Sometimes it doesn't match up. Observation notes, patient number 0090. Day 1, patient transferred for observation, malnourished, shallow breathing, avoids eye contact, agitated in presence of staff, frantic at the notion of touch. That sounds like Angela. Day 2, patient refuses solid food. Nasogastric forced feeding required. Serotonin antagonists administered to reduce nausea and vomiting. Day 3, patient restrained for bathing and feeding. Prepare the treatment room accordingly. Progressing malnourishment, oxygen deficiency, self-injury suspected. Could not confirm. Day 4, something is very raw. I do like, because this note, I've made fun of some of these notes, the way they trail off at the very end. They start off normal and then they turn spooky at the very end and kind of cut off. It's a very Resident Evil memo kind of feeling with the notes that do that. But I will say I like the detail of looking at it in the typewriter, and that is where the alignment is. Like, it's where the next key would have been pressed to continue typing. So it's still set up as though somebody just immediately was unable to continue typing it. They were immediately pulled away from it, and the paper is still in the same position. That's a cool detail. Pens and pencils in the cup. Bottles, medication. Cup and saucer. Oh yeah, we saw some of these with the GS initials on them in the like kitchen area. One of the areas that had a bunch of stacks of dishes. Empty drawer, Bloober Team special. Every time I open one of those empty drawers, it makes me think of Layers of Fear 2. Wandering through that game and being like, oh, finally, something I can interact with. Oh, it's nothing. Actually nothing. Bloober Team loves their empty, pointless interactables. And then like 1 out of 100 times you open up a drawer and there's a lemon. There was just a random lemon inside of it. I was like, why? What is this? Weird game. Weird game. Clock at 10 past 9 and 15 seconds. August medical expenses. Same filing cabinets, medication bills, important, more medication bills. January invoices, doctor bills, books and stationery, radiology book. Same things. Seen many other times. Same little medication bottles and stuff we've seen over here. Rotted wood. Ah. Oh, look. You can see all the bugs, all the creepers on the other side. We've also got this big, like, window as part of this office where they were observing this patient. Which is why we have the note for the patient here. Trying to see... Yeah, it looks like the paper was put on this side of it. Like the patient was trying to cover up the window. We found a note where they were somebody was talking about being watched. Presumably this same patient. And that they made the person watching them stop somehow. The way it's implied when you first read it, it makes it sound like more violent, like they killed them or blinded them or something. But it could be something as simple as this, being observed through like the window, two-sided glass, and then blocking it. More Sky. Welcome back. Thank you so much for the 7 months. Appreciate that Prime sub. Thank you, thank you. Hope you're doing well. Had to try. See if I can shoot through it or anything like that. If it would agitate the bugs. Use a solid food. Okay, so it's written. The text matches. James marks his map. Puts a question mark on the room being observed. Flickery light up here. And the wires hanging off. Even says light. Can't read the rest of it. The fact that there's like legible text of any kind up on a fluorescent bulb you wouldn't normally be able to get anywhere near. Appreciates it. So for this one, we need a combination. We'll go in exam room 5 instead. Gives us the first floor inner ward key. Do we have fancy fingers? Yeah, boy. Every time he picks up a key, got to get that pinky out. Fancy finger. First floor inner ward. Be surprised. More Newspapers, we've seen these before. Same posters, same vintage medical photos we've seen. New way in medicine, laboratories, don't let alcohol shatter your life. Creepy group photos. Vintage photo of a woman standing next to a car. Gotta shoot out the glass. Make sure there's nothing hiding back there. Got a pair of pants in the sink. The plumbing is rendered underneath the sink when you can't even see it. Medicine bottles and things that we've been seeing. Nothing new in terms of labels or anything. Yeah, it's the embalming fluid and arterial fluid and stuff like that. Our eggy computer. It's like the other ones we've seen. They all have this same little sticker and stuff on them. Creepy photos of blurry-faced old men. I assume these are doctors, or most likely Brookhaven directors. Minimoto Dragon, welcome back. Thank you so much for the 12 months. Thank you. Hello, Nub, you booty. Hope you are having a bit of a better day, good sir. Little bit, yeah. I'm kind of tired. My sleep has not been great, but in general, feeling somewhat better today. We've got our cat Ziggy taken care of. Gave him his first round of medicine this morning. He seems like he's doing better, so it's been a relief. Computer wires clipping into the desk. Sky Victoria, been watching your videos on YouTube forever. I'm so excited to catch a live Silent Hill stream for the first time. Welcome. Glad you could be here. Now you're a part of a future YouTube video. No one is as thorough as you with the details. There's definitely some very dedicated, very thorough Silent Hill fans out there, but I like to think that I'm as thorough as I can be. I definitely miss a lot of things, even trying to be as thorough as I can. And I definitely come across things that I don't always immediately recognize or understand. Like, if it's something Silent Hill related, like if it's a reference to another game or something like that, a lot of times I'll pick up on it. But I'm not very good with, like, I'm not a religious person, so there are some religious references and things like that that escape me, that people clarify for me. I don't know a whole lot about Poland, and because Bloober Team is a Polish development studio, there's a lot of things that are specific sort of references to Poland or Polish history or a Polish language that have been in this remake that people have been very helpful in, like chat and YouTube comments, to clarify kind of their meaning for me. But I take notes on all that stuff so that eventually when we get around to doing our in-depth story playthroughs, I can include all that information as much as possible. And what's up, The Legend? Finally been able to catch the stream live. Hey Nub, how are you? Kind of tired, haven't been sleeping too great, but otherwise, compared to some of the rough days I've been having, I'm not doing too bad today. Hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome. Glad you could be here. We got our Francisco Goya image, drawing, painting. We saw this one in some other places as well. And Sky Victoria, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Really, really appreciate that love and support. Thank you, thank you. Glad you've been enjoying the videos. Glad you could be here for a live. Hope you enjoy your time here. Enjoy your Silent Hill emotes that you can use anywhere on Twitch. Guide to proper hygiene. Ask nurses for free copy. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I wonder where my glove will go. Revolutionary method for treating neurosis. Don't let alcohol shatter your life. Similar stuff. In control, anger, fear, Araxium, all these sort of medication advertisements. Skull trauma from childhood. Fully recovered. The remaining remnants of something. And Minimoto Dragon, thank you so much for gifting a sub to Bude vs. Richter. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Let's take a peek in all the cabinets. See if we got any interesting or unique things up here. Never know when we might find something different. But it looks like a lot of the same little bottles. Got a microscope set up. Rotbahn on the notepad. Oh, look at that. You can see the writing. I saw them. He says he didn't, but they were there. I'm pretty sure we can just examine it and read it. No, this is not the examinable note. I was thinking of that. Oh, plate, bowl, heading down there. I'm never going to get this in the correct position like I just had it. I should have finished reading it. Runaway? Yeah, it looked like the runaway note. Which we should have. Thought we picked that one up. Maybe not. Have you ever found any evidence to what Mary's disease might have been? I always wondered what the diagnosis actually was. I mean, for the original game, it was left intentionally vague. Oh, this is also, Notepad, Waitress, 1989. But, yeah. Mary's condition was never specifically given by developers or in-game or anything like that. And nothing so far going through the remake seems like it's hinting specifically at Mary's condition. There's all sorts of little notes and references towards similar symptoms. We found like a poster warning the hospital staff to take caution and take measures if they were exhibiting certain symptoms, and those symptoms were the same as Mary's. So it was like what was it? Open sores, coughing, some other stuff. It was in a previous part, one of the posters on the wall that we found. But nothing like linking it directly to Mary or like confirming anything. Not listing like a specific disease or ailment or anything like that either. God, I can't believe I got where I could read this that one time, not even really trying to do it. And now I can't see it. And kind of go like line by line depending on this. I saw it. He says he didn't. They were there. Were the lights. And at the bottom was like runaway. You can see what it says run. Wasn't there a fan theory that the town made her ill or something? There's a lot of fan theories surrounding Mary's illness. There's people who theorized that it was the historical plague that wiped out a lot of the town's population back in the 1800s. There were even some of the people who were part of the creation of the original game, like Guy Seehey, James's original actor, who had his thoughts on what it might be when her symptoms and everything like that was described to him. But even Guy Seehey himself says the devs didn't tell him, like, for sure that it was any particular type of ailment. I think he thought it was skin cancer. She got sneezed on. That's the Book of Memories. If we consider anything that has the Silent Hill name on it to be canonical, then yeah, in Book of Memories, in the joke ending, Mary gets sneezed on. And James is like, what if you get sick? And Mary's like, it's fine. I'll be fine. Oh yeah, there's a lot of theories. A lot of things put forth by other games in the series and original actors and everything in between, but nothing from the creative developers or in-game information itself. Also, I think these are X-rays of James. I think these are meant to be James's X-rays, his profile. You can kind of see the shape of the nose and stuff in some of these, the particular mouth shape and jawline. Very, very similar. We saw another instance of that when we first entered Brookhaven. There's the Carl Jung sense of self, or I forget what it's called exactly, but it's got like a profile image. As part of a diagram that is James. Again, kind of seeing these things that are being projected from James's mind into reality, as much of the world is. The way he sees it, the way we see it as a player. Much of it is just James's subconscious projecting things, not things that are meant to be taken literally. Dr. Andrews, we delivered the radiographs you requested. However, it looks like the file was incomplete, as one of the pictures was nowhere to be found. We will send somebody as soon as we locate it. Let me know if you need anything else. Radiograph of a pelvis. Is this actually translucent? Well, that answers that question. The underside of it is not even rendered. My pelvis. put that there for now. Kabi-sama says, I have yet to bother with Book of Memories. Is the basic idea play through X number of floors of completely irrelevant dungeon to uncover some small bit of bad story? Kind of. Most of the story, there's very few like cutscenes. You basically have like your intro and your ending. And if you're playing it from the start, it's 21 zones, 21 floors that you have to play through before you get an ending. The majority of the story is told through very small clips of audio. Every once in a while, you'll come across a TV or a radio where you hear a character talking about some event going on. And notes. You find notes on the various floors. And the type of note that you find depends on your karma level. So if you have good karma, you find quote-unquote good notes. If you have bad karma, you find quote-unquote bad notes. And they all have different aspects of information to them. So to get all the notes, you have to play through a lot more than 21 zones. You've got to play through a shit ton. To get all the audio, you have to like play through it way more than just like 21 for your ending. So it's split up into notes and audio clips for the most part. And that game is mind-numbingly repetitive and bad. So definitely not worth the effort. Especially for a bunch of stuff that is not even very satisfying as far as story goes. Like, I'm not too picky or particular when it comes to like things being canonical or not. We were talking about this during the last stream, but even with the original games, they weren't all written by the same person. They weren't all, they didn't have like a cohesive, continuous story from game to game planned out. They made one game. The first one did well. They made a sequel that was meant to be an anthology and do its own thing. That did well, but fans wanted a continuous story from the first game, so they made Silent Hill 3 to kind of be like a proper sequel to that game, while they were also doing a spin-off game that wound up becoming a mainline game with Silent Hill 4, and then Konami outsourced it to a bunch of different developers, pretty much whoever they could give it to at that point. So, like, worrying about canon or not canon is not a huge concern of mine. But I do like it when story elements are satisfying, when things connect more than they contradict. And there are contradictions in the stories, even within the first 4 Team Silent games. But there's a lot more things that connect than contradict each other. Whereas, as the series went on, more and more things contradicted rather than connected. So by the time you get to like Book of Memories, things are so contradictory and so nonsensical that it's like it just doesn't even matter. The story is not interesting, the characters are not interesting, the things they try to connect are not done in satisfying ways. And the game is just not fun. It's not scary. And just not a very good experience. Whether you're playing it for a Silent Hill experience or a dungeon crawler experience, it's not very good either way. But if you want to watch me play all 500 zones of that game, I did that years ago, and all of it is archived on YouTube on my main channel. So feel free to subject yourself to that. I like how the rooftop is rendered, even though we're still quite a ways from getting up here ourselves. I just wanted to clip out here and start looking at it. Even the note and everything is legible here. Eventually we'll come up here to the roof and check it out for ourselves. Let me let the game actually play. Oh, there we go, the ASMR rain sounds. Alright, here we go. Ooh, and if you go up onto the roof, you hear the rain hitting the windows in the building, the sound changes. The audio occlusion. You can hear the chain link fence sort of blowing around and the rain hitting it and kind of clinking off of it. Very cool. Should release one of those like 24 hours of rain sounds for people who just need that rain sound, that ambient storm sound to fall asleep to. Be like, here you go. 24 hours of rainy Brookhaven roof. I would watch. Maybe I'll do that after the stream. I'll just put the camera up here, set OBS to record, go have dinner, go to sleep, let it run all through the night, and just upload that. I actually do play those kind of videos to help me sleep. You know, I mean, I put on similar stuff, not just the rain sounds, but there are, I talked about this on a previous stream, but when I'm trying to relax and stuff, I'll put on walking videos where people are like walking around places, no commentary. They just have like a GoPro on and they're like walking, usually around like Tokyo and places in Japan. And a lot of those that I'll put on that are very calming are like, you know, 5 hours of walking around Shizuoka in the rain. Love that kind of stuff when I'm just trying to wind down, relax, relieve some anxiety. Very helpful. Therapeutic. All right. First floor inner ward key is where we're going. Laura's drawing. Bunny being chased by a bird. Anything hiding in this stuff back here? Fire alarm. Old chairs and cabinets. Bed frames. Floor below that's not rendered. We'll just clip right through this. Unlock that for later. Breaking all the mirrors. Just to see if we find anything interesting. Already found a painting hidden behind one in the Woodside Apartments. So now I've got to check them all. Deal with these enemies before, oh. Let's actually look a little closer at this one. Got her set up here in front of the TV. I think she's enjoying it. This feels like a reference to Silent Hill Homecoming to me. During the intro sequence of Silent Hill Homecoming, you actually encounter nurses that are like standing in front of a TV, very similar to this. And considering some of the other little visual nods and some direct references to other Silent Hill games in the series, can't help but feel that this is a very intentional visual setup to kind of invoke that same memory of the Homecoming intro. We've got another Morse code TV. These TVs, the clicking sound that's part of their ambient sound effect is a message in Morse code that a fan translated. And it's repeating the message again and again and again and again, just on loop. You find a similar TV in Woodside Apartments that also has a hidden Morse code message. And the message of that TV is, "James, why did you do it?" So, some cool details. Very, very hidden stuff. Always impressed with the Silent Hill community figuring that stuff out. Actually got some legible text in here. Multa Esifi tu. It's all Latin. Mine Deus. Expectins, expectavi, domino, and intendit, inihi. Summoning a demon, don't worry. I assume this is probably taken from some actual text. Or book or something. Let's see if I can find a match for like a segment of it. Videbunt multi Idibut multi et timibut translates to "many will see and will fear." It's a phrase from the Latin Vulgate Bible. Psalms 39:4. So it's Psalms 39:4 in a specific Latin version of the Bible. And he put a new canticle into my mouth, a song to our God. Many shall see and shall fear, and they shall hope in the Lord. So, Bible. Bible. Latin Bible. Interesting. Magical envelope. Letter from my dead wife. No? Not one that we can see anyway. Another vintage photo. We've seen that before. Children playing the game where they pass the ball over each other's heads. A lot of detail in this area. Go ahead and unlock this. Now we've seen this artwork before. My medication safe, anxiety, seen all that. Some of this is just a bit too fuzzy to make out. More creepy vintage medical photos. A lot of these are real photos that have just kind of been edited or altered to be a bit creepier than they actually are. I like the sort of just silhouette of that nurse, though. Very striking image. Oh, look. Some slightly more normal spoons. You got big spoons, big fork, little fork. Salad fork, fish fork. Your whole proper table setting. Oh, is there stuff written on that? Chiron. That's a thing. Chiron was the Greek mythology, a centaur, son of Titan Cronus. Some sources speculate that Chiron was originally a Thessalian god, later subsumed into the Greek pantheon as a centaur. In astrology, Chiron represents a point in your birth chart that reveals where you experience the most significant wounds and where you have the greatest potential for healing and growth. It's known as the wounded healer. Appropriate for a hospital. Appropriate for James's journey, sort of breaking free of his delusion and healing in some ways. Same coffee makers and stuff we've seen. Get some more light. These floral pattern mugs. Those recurring motifs throughout the game. 12B4. And the Black Devil Toaster. We've seen these toasters in some other places, like the apartments. Even got like a frayed cable and stuff on it. Great detail. I wonder what this is. Hidden messages, secret writings, bird plate. Birds are another recurring motif. Jar for tea. No light bulbs inside. Not in that one either. There's this... the salt. My jar of salt. No light bulbs in that either. Array of spoons. Different bird plates. Whole set of bird plates. Oh. Broken dishes, also marked with Chiron. That same reference there. More tea, more salt. No light bulbs. We're checking all the jars and cans for light bulbs. Nothing so far, but I feel like when we get to the hotel, we're gonna find a can with some light bulbs in it. I'll be very shocked with all the other references in this game if that's like the one thing that they omitted. Nothing up there. Dirty dishes in the sink. Gross looking dish brush. Paper bags. Oh. Styles de tab. Get caught on the hook. We actually saw these in Heaven's Night. Same little logo, same paper bags. Brush and dustpan down there. So many little details in this area. Mop and bucket. Alright, let's look at some of the more obvious stuff, like the blackboards, chalkboards. Remember to wash your hands, James. His sleeve is just permanently gross after touching the toilet. Although the black ooze did finally, leave his left hand. I was surprised at how long that lasted after touching the gross door in the Saul Street apartments. Lasted all the way up until putting his hand in the toilet. Another clock with 10 past 9. Meal times. Breakfast 8 a.m., lunch 12 p.m., dinner 6:30 p.m. Guests are allowed to use the canteen in the visiting hours 8 a.m., 8 p.m. Guests pay $3 for breakfast, $5 for lunch, $10 for dinner. When we switch to the other world, these signs are going to change what's written on them. More of the bird dishes. 5 meals for celiac disease, 7 lactose intolerant. Running low on potatoes and rice. Patient broke a whole cart of dinner plates, need to stock up. Monday, breakfast, oatmeal with fruit. Lunch, baked beans, sausage, eggs, side of salad. Dinner, pork cutlets, potatoes, grilled vegetables. Sounds pretty good to me. Sign me up for that Brookhaven Hospital food. Old used tea bags. Like alcohol bottles. Don't know if patients or staff are supposed to be drinking, but you know. I get it. Dead bunnies. I think this is a real painting. And I think this was also in Layers of Fear, if I remember correctly. Yep, it's another Francisco Goya. Just titled Dead Hairs. I really like their creepy Francisco Goya paintings. Various cutlery and cookware. Got a spatula hiding down there. Nothing in the ovens. In the kettle, we've seen these ovens in a few other places as well. Strainer. Big cooking pot. Cleaver, cutting board. And I mean, it's a kitchen, it's a cleaver, it makes sense, but just as a note, in the original Silent Hill 2, James never uses a cleaver, but Maria does. In the Born from a Wish sub-scenario, she has weapons that are unique to her, and one of them is a meat cleaver. Moffa's microwave cooker. Are the same kind of pots and pans, cups, kettles, plates, mugs. And the bugs. Wink. Let them play while we look around. They're all dynamic, moving around based on where James actually puts the flashlight. Oh, that one's shrinking. And it's gone. Oh, that one's shrinking. Apparently that's how they loop their animations. And keep them from spawning too many resources or something. It's in the walls, deep inside. The mold remover gets rid of it for a while, but then the thing reappears in the exact same spots. We need to get in there, break it all down if we have to, and root it out. See, there's a bunch more of them. Right back in there. They all cluster up together. We've got the mold remover. Funny enough, when we were outside Brookhaven, before we ever even set foot in here, I clipped the camera in here, and most of this stuff was not rendered, just basic walls and floors and windows, but no details, no textures. But out of everything that was not rendered, this mold remover was rendered. Strangely enough. Vowo Chemicals, no bleach. Mold remover. 32 ounces. Removes mildew stains from vinyl surfaces. Fresh lemon scent, ready to use. No scrubbing, no bleach formula. 90% bleach. .6 acryl, 1% sodium C, 102% ingredients. I love how it just says no bleach all over it. Bleach free. No bleach. No bleach formula. Active ingredients, 90% bleach. Kills mold and mildew. Not mildew. But mildew. Instant results. 3 stars. Before and after. Wow. Wow. I like the little images. Home. Clean around your home. Clean around your car. Clean around your pool. But also car, water. Little nod for the in water ending. Made in the US. Causes burns. Keep out of reach of children. See back panel for additional information. I will. Kills mold no time. Mold and mildew have no chance. Precautionary statements. Warning. Lorem ipsum. Filler text. Use. Lorem ipsum. Filler text. Disposal. Lorem ipsum. Date. Question mark? 87. Pour it on your surfaces. Pour it on your hands. For questions, lorem ipsum. It's toxic. It's flammable. And it's 90% bleach. Do we get fancy fingers when we pick it up? No. Yep, same text, matches the note. Now that we've read the note and picked up the mildev remover, all the bugs are gone. Wonder if that QR code on the back links to something? I mean, there wasn't a QR code, there was a barcode. Unless I'm blind. I assume that's what you meant. Oh, now we get fancy fingers if I pull it out of the inventory. Yeah. No QR code. There is a barcode. I don't have a barcode scanner. Is that something that Google Lens will do? Never actually thought to try that. No. Although, funny enough, because if you try to scan it with Google Lens, it doesn't like work as a barcode scanner. But what it did do is try to match the closest thing. And I see barcode, simple icon, vector, flat, stock image, which looks like a match. So it's probably just a stock image barcode. Another Francisco Goya painting. Plucked chicken or something, I think it was called. Plucked Turkey by Francisco Goya. Would have been crazy if a barcode did lead to some thematically appropriate real-world product. Well, when we were in the Brookhaven basement, there was a barcode, or excuse me, a QR code and a website link that were on the side of a boiler, like a heater. And those worked. If you went to the link, it would take you to a website where it was a screenshot of that texture in the game, along with a little spinning mirror that when you click it, it would make classic Silent Hill 2 menu sounds. And there was a QR code that would take you to a website for an actual company that does those heaters and boilers and installation stuff. And their About Us page had listings for like mental health and stuff like that. So if you want to see that, it's on one of the previous parts of this playthrough. So we have found like functioning links and QR codes already. So it's definitely worth looking and kind of trying stuff, seeing what we can find. But it doesn't seem like the barcode is one of those. Coffee, sugar. Same food in jars that we've been seeing. Peppers, paprika, okra, pickles. HBSL. Meat grinder with a clamp. Star OS. Written on that side of it. And HBSL written on the other. Hey, Jonathan Joestar. No canned light bulbs yet. I imagine if we're gonna find something like that, it's gonna be in the hotel, but we've been checking. Nothing yet. Monsterizer stand mixer. We saw this in some other spots. Okay, 12B4 toaster. We saw that under the counter in the nearby room. So much stuff. Broken plates, some more of those bird plates. Oh. Food aids mental health. Yes. High fiber fruits and vegetables, whole grain foods, healthy fats including omega-3. No. Highly processed snack foods, highly refined grains, or red meat. That's true, by the way. One of the things in dealing with my recent issues with anxiety and panic attacks, high blood pressure, I've had to very significantly change my diet. Just like this healthy young lad and his creepy little doll hands that are like facing the wrong way. Looks like AI. Like from the fucked up hand perspective. But yes, high fiber fruits and vegetables, whole grain foods, healthy fats, omega-3s, cutting out snack food, cutting out refined grains, red meat. I didn't eat a whole lot of red meat before, but I eat even less now. Sodium is a big one that you have to cut if you're trying to get your blood pressure, and in turn helps with anxiety, mental health. Interesting that that's one that you can examine. And these are all repeat posters, stuff we've already seen. Fire instructions. Anything in here rendered? Nope, it is a void. All the signs saying remember to wash your hands. Please do not leave any personal belongings. Minimoto Dragon says, "Hey Nub Zombie, what has been your favorite find so far? The ice cream nutrition label killed me. I really liked the ice cream nutrition label calling out Eddie as a gutless fatso. I really like the Crusher Dan and Shoot VHS tapes. Those were really cool to find. Of course, I love the HD collection Silent Hill Ranch in Comic Sans, sitting on a pile of garbage and rubble hidden inside the barn house. It's been some very, very interesting Easter eggs and stuff so far. But those are probably my favorites. Alright, let's save it. And continue looking around. Got the key to the inner ward here. Kind of a cool shot, the lying figure. Just the silhouette of it through the door there. Look out, James. Nice little setup they go for there. Try and make you focus on the nurse, and then have the lying figure sneak up on you. Apparently I missed a couple rooms this way. This bathroom. Nothing rendered inside. This bathroom. Your toilet paper is mounted way too far on the wall. That a downpour reference? There's something similar, actually, in Downpour that I always make fun of during story playthroughs of that game. When you're going through the Devil's Pit office area, there's a toilet, and then like the toilet paper is on like a completely different wall, like super far away. Not a breakable mirror. Storage room, not rendered. There we go. So we've got the day room, shower room, everything in here to check. Got another 9:10 clock. It's like all the others, or most of them. Little shot of the grocery store, that intersection in town. Seen this in some other places as well. One of the few that's like a render of the town made to look vintage rather than a modified, like, authentic vintage photo. Another 9:10 clock. Low poly books. Some finest old Polish whiskey. We've seen that in many places already. Some of those specific to apparently an actual brand that exists in Poland, or used to. Bronze deer statue, seen that around. Certificates, we've seen those. Thing rendered in there. This case bears a disturbing similarity to a situation that took place in the facility a few years back. The patient was admitted on a court order, but with the consent of his remaining family. His condition appears to be improving for the first few weeks. The administered medications paired with individual sessions with a psychologist and art therapy alleviated his avolition, anhedonia, and social withdrawal. There was no reason for concern. They didn't even know anything was wrong until the night guard reported one of his keys was missing. When they found him, it was already too late. Just like to look at these up close with the camera. I do like the detail with like the smudges and water stains, rough edges on the paper and everything. One thing I really do like with the quality of these notes a lot of times, if you look at like, this is a very nitpicky thing, not nitpicking, but rather this is a really cool detail that if you look at the lettering and stuff, like the way the A is written, the way the capital T is written, it looks like handwriting. It looks like scanned in handwriting rather than using like a font that just looks like handwriting. It could be a font. If you look at like this A and this A, there's definitely some letters and things that look like identical matches, but there's very little repetition to the point where like it looks like authentic sort of handwriting. Nice detail. Or creepy faceless portraits of men. Again, I think implied to be previous doctors or directors of Brookhaven. Sort of, I guess, supposed to be like some cloth folded over. Little pillows. Kind of a jumble of polygons when you get too close. All these cabinets and little containers. Anything in the freezer and fridge? Nope. Need nurse contact info. Newspapers. Nurse gathering. More pictures and forums and things that we've already seen. Dog. We've seen the dog before. A woman standing in front of a car. We saw that a moment ago. All these photos where the faces are smudged out. And our hint for the keypad. That's for the nurse's station. Keypad combination note. Albert Smith, Anthony Johnson. Same certificates and names that we've seen. That dog photo again. Same vintage photos of nurses. Same eggy computer with the HS working start or stat sticker on it. Don't copy that floppy. Doctor's files. Smith. Docs of patients. But there's actually kind of visible labels. A little bit different on these. Mr. Smith. Mr. J something. June? Might be June. I think it's supposed to be names. I guess June could be a name. Mr. Larry? L something something Y. And W something there at the bottom. L country. Unique labels and stuff on the floppy disks. Very cool. I like this one. Your text. This was some sort of like fill in your own text asset. And it just says your text. Time, work, homework. Hey, Dulce Bun. And have a good night, Minimoto. Thank you again for the love and support tonight. Hope you also have a wonderful night. Looked up here yet? Nothing in there. Charge 1. Contravening Article 52 of the NC General Statutes. Publicly disrespects and shows contempt for national symbols, our military service, and the patriotic soldiers he had once the honor of serving with. Huh. Is this taken from something? Give me a second while I search some text. North Carolina. General statutes. Very random. Little piece of North Carolina law. Just as this file on the clipboard. SH2, seen that book. Those. Oh. That same scrap is also down there in the drawer that's up here on the clipboard. Weird. We found like 100 things referring to Maine, which makes sense. That's essentially where Silent Hill is meant to be located. We found a couple references to West Virginia, which is where Silent Hill is located in the film adaptation. I'm not sure where North Carolina comes into play. But there you go. North Carolina reference. For all you North Carolinians. Oh, that's a good one. A Brief History of Toluca Lake by Charles Holloway. That is a Silent Hill Homecoming reference. So, on the cover there, that image of Toluca Lake is one of the images of Derwentwater in the Lake District in Keswick, England, which is where they used photos of that lake in the original Silent Hill 2 for Toluca Lake. Charles Holloway is one of the descendants of the Holloway founding family. They were one of the founding families of Shepherd's Glen. You had the Shepherds, the Holloways, the Fitches, the Bartletts. But those are all the families that formed. They broke away from Silent Hill and the cult and formed Shepherd's Glen on the other side of Toluca Lake from Silent Hill. So, Brief History of Toluca Lake by Charles Holloway. Little homecoming reference. Very nice. more vintage photos and stuff down here. Is that Alex Shepard? Am I just looking for Homecoming stuff now? Because it looks like Alex Shepard. Maybe a coincidence. The fact that the faces are not blurred like most of the other photos. Although we've seen some of these, like this photo, the couple that kind of reminds me of the PT couple. We've seen that one around in some other places. The woman holding the baby, we've seen that photo. Green military jacket, somewhat similar to James's jacket. A little bit different. That's about everything in here. A lot of details in some of these rooms. Some more than others. Take a look at our lockers. See if there's anything hiding in here. Definitely at least a doctor's coat. Box with some blue shoes in them. These things in the environment, it's just crazy. Little details and everything that they went through the effort of putting around. Stuff you don't even interact with, would never normally see. Got writing on the like cigarette butts. Bunch of clothes and things kind of piled up on top of the locker. There are boots up here. Nutritional supplement in this one. Nothing hiding there. You don't pronounce the W in Keswick? Yeah, Pseudo Bandit, I'm aware. There shouldn't be a W in there if you don't pronounce it. It's at odds with my brain. I'm not native to that part of the world. It's not something that I'm used to leaving out when I read the word. I went on a whole tangent explaining that much earlier in this playthrough. That was like part 1 or part 2 when we went into Cafe Texan. There's a bunch of different types of alcohol, beer on tap. And one of the brands is Keswick or Keswick Pride. Which is also just that reference to the origins of the Toluca Lake photos from the original Silent Hill 2. But again, I'm not from there. And my brain, even knowing that you don't pronounce that letter, I see it and I just want to read it as it's written. Can't help myself. That all loops back this way. Check out the day room. Would you say you pronounce it phonetically? F-A-U-X. Phonetically. Nice. Good one, Theo. I don't know. Linguistics are stupid. And often don't make sense. For example, I'm from Austin, Texas. There's a lot of Spanish because of, you know, proximity to Mexico and everything, inspired naming conventions for things around Austin. So there's a part of Austin, specifically a street, but it's kind of an area that if you are a Spanish speaker, you would probably want to pronounce it Guadalupe, because that's how it's spelled. That's what it looks like. But if you say it that way to a local who's born and raised in Austin, they'll be like, oh, you mean Guadalupe? They'll look at you funny. They'll say that you're saying it wrong because the locals pronounce it one way, even though it looks like it should be, and by all means should be. But that's just how linguistics work. Like, you get enough people to sort of say something or pronounce something a certain way, even if it doesn't look right compared to how it is spelled or what its origins are. Given enough time, that just becomes the accepted pronunciation. Linguistics are stupid. Language does not make sense. It makes sense until it doesn't. I do love the sort of environmental storytelling setup. The broken window, the blood everywhere. Gotta check the mirrors. If there's any new medicine bottles, they're getting less and less polygons by the minute. Guess it makes sense in these areas where you have so many of them all in one space. Gotta save on those resources. I also wonder if I was to down patch my game, like revert it to an older version of the game, because it's had some patches, it's had some updates. And some of those patches were supposed to help with optimization. Because this game notoriously has some issues with stuttering, especially on launch. And I wonder if I was to revert to an older version of the game before those optimization patches, if there would actually be more detail in some of these environments. Like, some of these things may have been changed as part of that patch to make the game run smoother. Have to try that sometime. Do some testing. That opens up the pharmacy. Nothing in the freezer or fridge. We can look in here. I actually did this in a previous part, but just for anybody who didn't see it, can look into the green slimy hole in the ground, and there's the pool key with the ear-shaped keychain, which was a thing in the Silent Hill 2 original. It wasn't a key to the pool, it was a key to the elevator in Brookhaven, which was locked off. But it's the same concept. You get the bent needle. In the original game, you use a strand of hair. In this game, you use a bit of surgical tubing to combine with the bent needle and fish this key out of the drain. But the design of the key is the same as the elevator key in the SH2 OG, and it's even got the same keychain that looks like a human ear. So, cool detail with that. And I theorize that the ear keychain might be a David Lynch reference, specifically Blue Velvet. We know for a fact from developers that Blue Velvet was an inspirational film in the creation of Silent Hill 2. They even dedicate an entire scene with James hiding in the closet when Pyramid Head is killing a mannequin creature and approaches James outside of the closet. That is all based on, very heavily based on, a scene in Blue Velvet where Kyle MacLachlan's character is hiding in a closet while Frank Booth does unspeakable things to a woman. Things that I cannot say, or else I'll be demonetized. But Blue Velvet, it's a great movie. It might be the reason this is an ear. Because the plot of Blue Velvet kind of kicks off with Kyle MacLachlan's character finding a severed human ear while walking home. Another incident with 0050. He got out of the pool and made a break for the garden, cutting himself wide open in the process. Thank God I was still here. He was completely manic, screaming. Had the orderlies hold him down. Barely managed to stitch him up. He's back in his room for now, sedated. So we kind of get the story with this patient. Getting out of the pool, making a break for the garden. cutting the shit out of himself in the process. Which is why we have all the blood on the pages, on the table, all over the floor, trailing up to the broken window. And there's just so many details in these rooms and environments around Brookhaven. Even though a lot of it is repeated assets, I'm still trying to like check everything fairly thorough, but when there's so many things to look at and check, really slows down progress through this area. I think we've spent more time on Brookhaven than we did looking around the town itself. There's just so many more small, intricate things to try and look at and check. Nothing rendered on the upper floors, but nothing rendered on the roof either. Oh yeah, we get a good view of how the rain effect works in this nice big open area. You don't need to have the rain work across an entire section of the map. You just need to have it work in a radius around the player character where their camera would normally be to give that effect. So the rain is just kind of a big cylinder that travels around with James. Shotgun shells. Flying figure. Pool. Mannequin hiding over here. Pretty small radius. I mean, yeah, Jantus, but from the normal camera perspective, like, the effect still looks fine. That's kind of what matters. I wonder, can I shoot through the little gaps? Oh, it aggroed. Oh, you can. A small chest. No fancy finger for the small chest. Can we clip in it and see? It's the one light, stray light bulb. Not a light bulb in a can, but we have a light bulb. Kind of lighting up this little gazebo area. All the spider webs and stuff up here. This area you're normally not supposed to be able to access, so not very much is rendered out this way. Still got some trees off in the distance, just to kind of give the background some depth. I knew there was another one here. I couldn't remember what side. Oh, you can't break that and get the ammo inside? Gotta wait till you go around from the other end. Oh, that was this little hallway. We've already been in there. Just didn't pick those up. Shovels, fire hose, thing for kind of tending to the garden, little work tools. Alright, the pool. Got life vests. What I assume are supposed to be life vests. Little floaty type things. My brain's not working. Trying to think of words. Life preservers. We saw some of these at Rosewater Park that specifically said Rosewater Park on them. Be kind of funny if those were reused here, but they're different. We can even go under the water, see the eye that we're going to come back to once the pool is drained. Look at that. It's even got the patient wristband inside already. Oh, you can even see kind of how they handle the pool draining. You've got the stuff that's floating on top, mainly this like one life preserver. And once the pool is drained, you just already have that asset down at the bottom. So you just remove that, and then this one is revealed, the lower water level. Already got the lying figures down here. Let's see what happens if I just teleport out here into the pool. Before it is drained. I get the prompt to break the wall. That's kind of funny. I'm trying not to sequence break too much, but in the name of science. It doesn't seem like it'll let me. There's even like a barrier right here. Empty medical stuff. See the valves. Everything in here. Skim. Main. Once we lift this up, already see all those little details in it. Figure in the shower area reminds me a lot of the prison area in the OG Silent Hill 2. Where you pick up the tablet of... that the oppressor? No, that's the one you get in the cell. You get one of the tablets in a prison shower with a lying figure, sort of follows you, traps you in there. Safety private, unlock, mind the step, safety, pressure, mind the step. Filler text. We've already seen this stuff before. Wheelchair knocked over in the showers here. It's our medical tube, so we can get the key out of the drain with our bent needle. Again, all the blood on the mirror, bloody handprints. Even breaking the mirror, you've still got blood on the wall behind it. Do not leave any personal belongings. Opens back up to this side. Also lets us unlock this. To the exam room hallway, the elevator. Now we can go back to the pharmacy. I'm pretty sure we get a lying figure encounter here, a scripted one. Our medical tube with bent needle attached. This is our I'm looking at a medical tube with bent needle attached pose. As you do. That face. Got the pool maintenance key. And it's like identical to the elevator key from the OG Silent Hill 2. Right down to the ear-shaped keychain, the very square-looking key. See, now that that's gone, take another look in the drain. Yeah. Be funny if there was something hidden under the key. Now we've got a little better look with the lid off here. We can take a look inside. The pool pump or drain controls are pool with 2 L's, skim with 2 M's, main. Break away the tile. There's our patience bracelet. Blood-stained bracelet. I don't know why I never get tired of seeing James stand in the awkward A pose when he's looking at things. And just like the first wristband we found, his hand is kind of blocking it, but it says like brand band written on the clasp of it. Yeah, you can see it, part of it there. Very tiny writing. Nurse from earlier got back up. Pretty much everything there. I'm just kind of looking over the map, seeing if there's any rooms I haven't explored. I do want to see ambient sounds. This blocked off hallway, I think we looked at it some previous parts. I just want to clip over here. Look at some of these things. Little area you're not normally supposed to be in. There's still a lot of assets and visible stuff over here that I want to see. Presumably nothing rendered in these rooms. We've seen these paintings in some other parts. See if I can clip through and see the one behind it. Not quite. Oh, kinda. Maybe. The way this, like, square-shaped looked with the legs at the bottom, I thought it was the Abstract Daddy for a moment. But I think it's just, like, a person in a white cloak. That was another one of the Goya paintings, I think. That was the, Witches in Flight, or something like that it was called. Saw it in another part of Brookhaven. Hey, Temporal Fry. Late to the party? No worries. Yeah, we are kind of getting towards the end of today's stream, but still looking around at stuff. That's just about everything here. Let's go director's office. Well, let's see how Maria's doing. No new interaction or anything. She's still just rolled over. Sleeping soundly. Her eyelids look like they're folded in on each other. Oh. Apparently just a result of me pausing the game world did that. Bloodstained bracelet added to the thing. Let's go nurse's station. We've got the keypad code. That's right, and we get the nurse who just like pops out of the storage room. Opens this up for us. Yes. Videos, same kind of boxes and stuff we've seen around. Doctor's coat. Low Suds Miracle. Deluxe automatic washers. Oh yeah, we've got the Conan Corporation Nobel NG model hair dryer sitting up there. We saw that in Heaven's Night. And cleaner automatic washer. Stuff we've seen. Okay. Same doctor's coat we saw in another spot. The, like, not quite legible name written on it. Foiytz. Hoyts. Something like that. Got some cookie. Got some tea. Biohazardous material. Blurry face nurse photo. Stuff we've seen. Same vintage photos there. Same bottles. Same books and folders. Same proper hygiene poster. Straight jacket. Hanging up on the wall. We saw a straight jacket very early in the game. That was like part 1. When you're very first walking into the town, you go past a field, the Silent Hill Ranch, and there's a scarecrow out in the field, and it's got a straight jacket on it. I don't think getting closer with light will help here. Oh, maybe. Like a handprint smudges at the bottom of this. Moldy radiograph. There's all the bugs going. They just like vanish underneath this bucket. Tray with the bloody tools. We've actually seen that in another one of the rooms. High voltage warning on medical stuff. Treatment room note. They feed me garbage and rotting meat, crawling with maggots, thick with sinew. They make me bite down. The juice is red and yellow, hit the back of my throat. I choke and I gag and I vomit till my throat is sore, an aching, throbbing tube of flesh. I push it all out, but I can still taste it. They bathe me in filth and blood and piss and bile. They gently rub human waste all over my body. My skin itches. It peels off like wet paper. I beg them to stop, but they don't listen. And then they lock me up. With him, he's always there. Closer each time, and the rot, it comes with him. It goes within. It becomes me. Good creepy note to go along with all this. Kind of giving us an idea of potentially the abusive nature of several of the people in Brookhaven, how they treat the patients. Which is something that is hinted at in the original Silent Hill 2 and Silent Hill 3 as well. Straight jackets. They're a lot more deliberate and disturbing with some of the notes like that in the remake here. Autopsy and orthopedic saw. Now what that is. Can combine our moldy radiograph and our mold remover. Our cleaned up radiograph. No fancy finger. Oh. James is making the face. If we let this animation play, I think he's going to be stuck making this face on loop. Yep. This is actually a known bug. This is actually a known bug. James's face animation gets messed up in certain parts of the game. Things can cause this to happen. You can see he's still doing it. All right, and that opens back out here. go ahead and go save it in the doctor's office. Or the director's office. Maxie, what's up, man? Confirms how bad it smells in here. Maybe. Although, funny enough, I have seen particular fans who claim that this is something intentional, that it's supposed to allude to certain aspects of James's mental state and things like that. I think this is clearly a bug. But hey, you know what? If you want to think that hard about it, go right ahead. But for me, I think that's it for tonight. Oh, look, he's not doing it in the save screen. Is he doing it when we leave? Oh, that seems to fix it. But yeah, that's going to be it for me. But thanks so much, you guys. I really appreciate everybody coming by, hanging out. Hopefully everyone enjoyed the stream tonight. Really appreciate all the love and support and everybody just hanging out, keeping me company in chat. Thank you so much for being here. Again, if you want to catch the VODs, check out the playthrough up to this point. This was day 14 of this ongoing cam hack playthrough. So we found a lot of interesting stuff. All of those VODs are up on my YouTube channel. You can easily find me. I'm just Nub Zombie on YouTube. Let me get a channel link in chat. Thank you, Rachel. Rachel's already got me. I'm going to put it again. But yeah, just youtube.com/@nubzombie. I'm probably not going to be on this weekend. Should be back on Monday. Been trying to stream around 9 p.m. Eastern every weekday. So Monday evening, you should be able to find me. And let me also put a link here to the Discord. If anybody would like to join our channel Discord, everyone is welcome. You don't have to be a subscriber or anything like that. It's the best way to keep up with what's going on. I post updates about when I'm going live. We've got Silent Hill info and discussion channels. If you want to know more about the series, and I post information there as I find things through my research. Grove Sleeper, thank you for the raid, but we're ending for the night. I do appreciate it though. But yeah, join the Discord if you want to know when the next stream is happening, when I'm going live. I give updates about my ongoing battle with my mental and physical health. So sometimes that puts a damper on what's going on with the streams, but for the most part, things have been improving. I'm trying to be a lot more regular here on Twitch again, so thanks you guys so much for being here. Really appreciate all the love and support. But yeah, have a good weekend, everybody. Like I said, should be back Monday evening. So, till then, be good to each other. Much love. Peace.